Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series for 2019 here for episode number 7 at the Canadian Grand Prix. Last time, the Monaco Grand Prix, we had a tale of two halves really. We're actually kind of come through in a fantastic P13 there. 14 pushing hard, trying to keep up with Kvyat, but we hit the wall and we're out of the Monaco Grand Prix. So clearly there were some positives, but also at the same time, the race wasn't really shaping up to be too amazing for us at Monaco, and it didn't look like we were going to be on for some points. And then of course, unfortunate mistake and DNF didn't even allow us to even see what would have maybe happened at the end of that Grand Prix. So going to Canada though, positives are upgrade has not failed. The chassis upgrade has come in. That's the weight redistribution. So hopefully our car will be slightly more balanced and a bit more stable around Canada. And you know, Canada is also, like I said with Monaco, has historically actually been quite a good circuit for the F1 Road to Glory kind of, you know, series essentially. You know, back in the day for F1 2012, Canada was also one of those circuits where we could try and go for a win or really high positions. And so we'll see how it goes. You know, the strategy is going to be pretty simple, but the nature of the circuit means overtaking could be quite good for us there down the long back straight. You know, Monaco was always going to be difficult, and it was difficult. Well, Canada usually is very, very good on the F1 game, just like Azerbaijan. I think we could pick up some good slipstream down that back straight, especially also then going into the chicane and then onto the main straight as well. So looking forward to this one. So let's get into qualifying then. We're going to see how we do. So through sector 1, the car was a bit more stable, but still a little bit, you know, on the edge because I was pushing quite hard. But unfortunately, we're around P18, P17, and actually slip back to P20 on the exit there. I get such poor traction on the right-hand side that I'm even slower than my teammate at this point in the lap, which is rather unfortunate. Even by the time we get to the chicane on P20, there's no other option but to bunny hop the chicane, really very aggressive over the curbs there, and that gains us 3 positions at the death of it on the last corners essentially. And across the line, we salvage a pretty okay qualifying, literally because of that one chicane. Otherwise, I would have come in stone dead last behind my teammate there. So quite close actually in qualifying there, but in the end, we get up onto, well, not the last row, the second last row of the grid, so that's better than nothing. But compared to Monaco, obviously not too amazing, but obviously it's a very different circuit. Monaco very much a driver's circuit. Canada still, you kind of get bottlenecked a little bit by the car pace, especially in sectors 1 and 2 with the traction clearly you saw in sector 1. But I'm still pretty happy actually with that because it shows we are making some sort of progress. The timing to pole position is a little bit less than it has been, and slowly we're grinding away at these upgrades and we're getting that pace slowly, even if it doesn't show, because sometimes, you know, the AI just do well. Other cars around us are also upgrading as well, which will definitely factor into it. But we're going to go into a race which is going to be completely clear and sunny compared to that very doom and gloom qualifying picture that was. And hopefully it's going to be a very sunny race for us in terms of some good, hopefully, racing and maybe even some points if we can get enough overtaking done here. Obviously, lap 1 is going to be very, very crucial. Strategy-wise, we're also going to change things up. We haven't done this since like the first 2 episodes, but I'm going to switch this tyre compound. We're going to start on the ultra-soft tyres and then go to hypers at the end of the race. So they're going to be on the fastest compound available at the very end with low fuel, hopefully nice and aggressive, and also we can do enough good work in these opening laps. We can also hold up some people maybe on these ultras and do some work kind of like there, just trying to hold them up a little bit before we go faster then on that next stint essentially, and use that fuel as well with rich mix, and use the good engine, of course, that's clearly been there, good slipstream, so got to abuse that and use our car's strengths at least. You know, it's not good in the corners, but at least we can try and do some stuff in a straight line. So we're going to get into this race then, very eager to try and steer this ship into some points if we can, as we go to 5 red lights to the Canadian Grand Prix. Historically a great circuit for Road to Glories. Here we go, we're on the way. It's a bit of a slow start there, a lot of wheel spin on the offshore tyres. We cut across and try and defend from Alexander Albon, and then dive bomb down the inside of 1, 2, 3 cars almost there, side by side with Lance Stroll and Antonio Giovinazzi. Now found a way around the outside of Carlos Sainz as well. The McLaren's a fantastic start. Also the Ricciardo's Renault, he's lost the back end there, he's actually unsettled, so we have a look around the outside of him as well. It's been an absolutely stonking start. P12, who would have thought that? Up into P12 in literally a matter of a sector.
Oh, this is exciting! This is genuinely exciting racing with James May in it!
And now we move on to lap number 3, having a look and actually closing up to Sergio Perez perhaps with DRS. Yellow flags behind for a DNF there. You can see in the top left down to 19 runners in this Grand Prix. We're catching Perez as we're all slowed up a little bit by this train forming here. And you know what, the Ferrari car, there's a Ferrari there on the minimap there going through turn 1. He's not too far away from this train, but you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars ahead of me here, all led by Kimi Raikkonen, I think that is, in the Alfa Romeo. So all getting bunched up and bottlenecked by the Iceman, so this will play into our hands, and it's just about being patient and waiting for, hopefully, some of these guys to fight and go side by side, especially into this next corner of the chicane. We've seen it plenty of times before in career mode, how slow the cars go when you're side by side, and here we go. This might be it. Magnussen has to defend from Perez, locking up a little bit of contact there, and here we go to the inside of Sergio Perez. We go towards lap number 5. Perez squeezes us, but we're going to have to go for the dive. We have to. There's no other way for it. Dive bomb to the inside of turn 1, try and squeeze him off there, but Perez gets the elbows out. Fair play to him, to be fair. He's got all the right to, and so he's going to squeeze us back, and he's got the speed. He's got traction in that Racing Point car of his, but we come back at him on the left-hand side, and we just about narrowly just steer this car through that corner. You saw the wobble on the rear end, and Perez comes back at us again there. So this car just really isn't that fast in the corners, and the traction pickup is so slow. We're like a turtle going out the corner, like just moving its tiny little legs trying to get out of the apex there. But we just about manage it. But up ahead, there's even more infighting. It's the two Haas cars caught up behind the Renault of Hulkenberg. So those guys are going to scrap now. The two Haas cars will go side by side into turn 1. We're going to close up as well. So traffic in Canada is proving to be very helpful, unlike the traffic at Monaco here, as these guys just keep slowing each other up there, and Grosjean just about stays ahead of Magnussen, but K-Mag might actually have a look around the outside, you know. Ooh, just about cut off there, and we lose a bit of speed with a lock-up on the front right. Gonna have to watch out for that and try and stay with them, and you can see behind me try and keep Perez at bay, who's still very much lurking around, but one of the Haas cars comes in there. It's going to be Magnussen, I think, so Grosjean continues on. We're going to just about slide through, manage not to hit the wall on the right, and we're now up into P4 there. Very lofty heights, but of course out of sync in this Grand Prix by going a little bit longer on the Ultras. But to be fair, Grosjean is on the Hypers, and he's going a little bit longer as well. So I don't know what his strategy is, but definitely we know mine. I'm going to a faster set of tyres, so we'll have an advantage very soon enough. But right now, I've got some company behind me. It's the Mercedes car, and once again, Hamilton showing off what an actual good Formula 1 car is, and not just a masquerading fake F1 car that I'm driving. But we come into the pit lane and just about slow that down. I was a little bit worried we were going to speed in, but we're all good, and we're actually closed up a little bit to Grosjean. Now, once again, it's time for my team to do the one thing they can do at an F1 Grand Prix weekend, is do a pit stop in quick succession. I think we have one of the fastest pit stop times in the paddock, because there we go, we've jumped Grosjean. Get in, lad. This is actually great. That is the one thing I can count on. I can't count on my team for anything. A good car, reliability, upgrades, a good cup of tea in the paddock, but I can count on them for a good pit stop. They've done it again. Mega work there, and now we're behind Hulkenberg now on the very next lap number 9, and he's been held up massively by Raikkonen. I've been told by my engineer that Raikkonen has an issue with his car, so he's going to be very slow, and so Hulkenberg's going to overtake him very easily. We'll have a free overtake here as well on the Iceman, so no wonder he was holding up that train if he's got some sort of mechanical issue slowing him down in the car. You can see how slow he is going actually into the apex. So on the exit, it will be a pretty simple move then. DRS open, goodbye Kimi, and so we're up into P8, and so we've definitely also jumped the other Haas car of Magnussen. We've not seen him, but we jumped both Haases here, and now we join Hulkenberg, and now we overtake another car. It's Verstappen, I think that is, in the Red Bull. He's parked up there, he's out of the Grand Prix, 17 runners, yeah, so he's out of the race, and so we're up into P7 now, free position there, and now we're closing up on Nico Hulkenberg. Look how quick our car is in a straight line compared to the Renault there, Renault v Mercedes power. It seems like for the first time my car has some genuine pace here, and it's all because of the straight line speed, so we've got to flex where our car's good at, so here we go. DRS open to the inside, gonna have to try and make it very difficult for him. We squeeze him completely off into turn 1 and 2. He makes a bit of contact with us. We're up into P5, and we're actually here on legit merit in terms of, you know, we don't have to make another pit stop in this Grand Prix. There's only 7 laps to go. I can't quite believe this. We're up into P. How has this actually happened? Someone else has got to have dropped out, I think, because that doesn't make any sense. Verstappen's dropped out. There must be someone else that's had an issue, and it looks like it's actually Charles Leclerc, because he's behind both of the Haas cars there. He's only just ahead of McLaren and Toro Rosso, so Leclerc has had some sort of issue. I reckon he maybe made some contact with Verstappen, maybe, and so Verstappen DNF'd, and Leclerc has had to make an extra pit stop, because here we are then, still a bit of an issue, because Hulkenberg's able to keep up with us, and we're now kind of the head of the train rather than the Alfa Romeo here, but we're going to just about keep up here. And the good thing is, like I said, you know, in a straight line, our car, you saw it there visually, we're good enough to match the Renault, so I can break the toe of Hulkenberg like this and just try and train him to the end of this Grand Prix. So now it's a case of not attacking people, it's a lockdown mission to try and defend for my life to keep this P5, and to be made a lot easier by these guys behind me scrapping away. The Haas and Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and also Perez is right there behind, but these guys going side by side is really going to help me out there, because it means they're going to lose time every time they do that, and I'm just going to be able to relax a little bit more, work on my fuel, work on my tyre wear as well, and make sure I have enough ERS for those straights to try and stretch my legs and get away from people in Sector 3. So this is looking very, very tasty, guys. Like, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we could be on for something very, very tasty, because it soon becomes a three-way fight between Perez, Magnussen and Hulkenberg there, so they're going to lose even more time. And behind, that Ferrari car isn't exactly a threat. It's still quite far behind Leclerc, and behind them, there's even more infighting. So even if we were to drop back a little bit more, there's still so much fighting going on that people are still losing time even behind Hulkenberg and the main fight in that midfield at the bottom end of the point. And now Leclerc might join the fight there, as he's going to try and join Perez in overtaking Magnussen. Magnussen going quite slow, actually. And you know what? Oh, he's got a puncher. Look at the left rear. Magnussen's got a puncher. So that's going to add another car we don't have to worry about in this Grand Prix. He's got a major issue in behind at the exact same point in the circuit. Through into the chicane there. A battle between the Toro Rosso and Lando Norris. And Norris has got his front tyre off. The Toro Rosso slammed his front left off. And oh, goodness me. Major problems there for the McLaren teams. Carlos Sainz absolutely twats Lando Norris in the rear end, and they're both out of the Grand Prix. There are 11 runners in this race. This is ridiculous. It's been an absolute bloodbath at Canada. There's Magnussen trotting along with a puncher on the bottom left. So we're still here in P5 with 2 laps to go. What on earth's happening? Even if we lost positions, we'd still be in the points probably, because there's now only 9 runners. There's been more chaos. There's 2 cars out, and it's going to be a replay here. It's Leclerc. Now, watch this. We literally just passed Magnussen on this straight, but Leclerc's going to come through, and it's a nightmare collision there. It's quite a hefty one, actually. You can literally hear the carbon fibre flailing there, and it's a massive DNF for Leclerc and Magnussen. 2 of them out, so literally this is 9 runners. Anyone who finishes this Grand Prix is in the points. It's like a dream race for Williams. Sadly, my teammates also out this Grand Prix, by the way, so I'm left here straggling along in P5 though on P18, and that's the most important thing. It's P5. 10 points are coming our way to Williams. Would you believe it? 7 episodes in, we're going to get 10 championship points. Get in there. What a Canadian Grand Prix.
Well done. Good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
And once again, my engineer has the weirdest reaction ever. Like you ever thought we were aiming for this P5 and 10 point. Like you make it sound like that's what you thought I should have been doing the entire time.
What was the key to this success?
Well, staying out of trouble was probably the most important factor here. In a race where half the field weren't classified at the checkered flag, you were able to guarantee a good result by basically keeping the car running. With their pace and a decent strategy as well, I don't think the race was ever really in doubt.
Anyways, away from getting pissed off at my engineer and whatnot for the reaction of that P5, because he should have been off his tits. He should have been shouting into the microphone, blowing my ears up. Instead, he acts like that was what, the plan was all along. But look at this then. We vaulted up into the top 11 now with those 10 points. So that's a massive leap and bound in the Driver Championship. But more importantly, in the Constructors, it's going to be a massive leap up. We're going to be now beating 3 teams, McLaren, Racing Point and Toro Rosso. It is a glorious day for Williams. You don't understand. Williams haven't had glory like this since like 2015, I think, or 2014. Absolutely stunning scenes here. This is going to be a champagne kind of night. Like tonight, the lads are all going to be out. We're all going to be out till 4 a.m. It's going to happen. We're going to find some Canadian bars because we need to celebrate.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
It's rare, but I can actually answer this with some seriousness on the answer. Yes, our power advantage came in clutch. It was very, very handy. You saw the way we overtook Hulkenberg. That was a real key of staying ahead of people when they're trying to chase us down.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
And straight away, we're back to the laughable questions and answers. Yeah, I mean, our car, like we've seen before, it's made of Prix stick in like blue tack. So I think that's the blue part of the car. Honestly, it's not actually paint; it's blue tack on the side of the car, so it's very, very brittle. So yeah, I was very surprised we didn't have a race-ending collision, because it was absolute chaos for everyone else. So I'm surprised we didn't get caught up in it.
Appreciate your time.
But my word, what a race, guys. Be sure to smash that like button for an absolutely miraculous result here in the F1 Road to Glory. They're 10 points in the championship. Absolutely unheard of. And because of that, we get some good R&D points. We can upgrade the car once more with a major weight redistribution upgrade. We can't do any downforce, unfortunately, because we're already making a part till France. And of course, my contract negotiations were very annoying. So I'll be severely pissed off at next episode, France, if after getting 10 points for the team in one race here, if I can't demand a very good contract for them, because I've literally done all the workload here. They've done nothing. You know, like I said earlier, they're not providing much apart from a good pit stop, so I deserve a good contract next episode after the French Grand Prix, but that's then. This is now. Let's just enjoy this. Guys, again, if you did enjoy the episode, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.